Everybody? And all of a sudden got loud. All right. So anyway, welcome everybody to the 2012 Christmas party. That's all we can call it. Golden Gate Lotus Club. Anyway, it looks like they're passing out dessert at this point. So we might as well start. You guys can eat your chocolate cake and listen. So anyway, so we've had a real special movie maker here. Ben, where's Ben being? Would you stand up, please? You gotta take credit for this. Ben decided that he had a whole bunch of film of him and his team autocrossing down at Marina, and so we put together a video, and so we're going to show the video now. This is really one of the better productions that I've seen with Lotus stuff. So thank you very much, Ben.
Each of the entrants, what basically formatted is in the morning runs, the first 5 runs would count for times, and so those times would go and be scored, and we have a class winner of each event, and then points were given. So at the end of the year, all these points were totaled up. So in the Lotus Street class, our champion in the Lotus Street class was Alfonso Cantier. Alfonso? Come on up. Congratulations, Alfonso. We also had, so Alfonso rides a Exige, and rides chrome orange Exige, so you might see him out there next year. The next class we had was again for the newer Lotuses. These would be the Elise, Exige, and Evoras. And these cars they had what we call the R tires, so it would be like the Yokohama 048s and some of the other tires that are comparable in terms of performance and softness and stickiness, which means basically that they're more expensive and they wear out fast.
Any details?
So in the R tire class, champion for this year was Brian Turner. Brian, come on up. Congratulations, Roy.
Way to go, 8-0.
Alrighty. We also had a class that was sort of for the newer cars, which we called the race class. It was really more or less open. A lot of these new tires that we see are like the Hoosiers and some of the Kumhos and things like that. I mean, they don't even put a wear rating on them. They put them 0 or double 0. 40, maybe 40 is really on the high side. When you look at these tires, they sort of have tread. They call it tread to make them DOT, but basically think of it as 2 little lines on the circumference of the tire. So yes, you can drive them in the rain technically. Just don't expect to turn, stop, or anything else. Spinning is fun. They're great for drifting. So in this class, we have a new champion, which I think is fantastic. So Linda Hyper, please. Congratulations, Linda. Linda runs, last year she ran a car number 76. This year she ran 77. Next year will be 78. Is there a pattern? Anyone want to guess what it is? No guess? Yeah, nobody wants to be PC. Okay. In the classic Lotus, so this was all Elans, Europas. We could even have 7s in this class. In open, meaning that in some cases the cars had engine swaps or had special tires, or something along that line. So this is the class that Ben ran in, and as you saw, Ben was the champion. According to the film. But we know about filmmaking. There's filmmaking and there's reality. It's a documentary, right? It's a mockumentary, if I recall. So I want to bring up, ask David Anderson come up, and David grab neck and neck with Ben. So I have to say that Ben actually was leading in the class when they were filming most of this, and it wasn't really until the last event that the two of them were vying for the championship. So it was very closely contested. So Ben, next year, right? All you have to do is show up for 5 events. That's it. So let me just, before I move on here, just comment that I have to say that this has been a fantastic year for the club. As you can see by the number of people here at the dinner tonight, I want to thank all of you for coming. But I happened to meet with the Lotus cars folks from the USA folks last week. I think it was down at the LA Auto Show during the press event. And even they are even recognizing that this particular club is doing more for the mark than any other club in the entire U.S.
All right.
And they went out of their particular way to make that very well known to and make that statement. We are by far the most active club in North America, having more events. We had over 45, almost 50 events last year. So if you think about that, that's close to what, 4 a month on average. I mean, it's a busy club for any type of organization. So I commend all the members because it couldn't happen without all the members and their participation and your enthusiasm and passion for these cars and for the other members and just getting involved. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Kiyoshi. So the next part of the program here, moving right along, the tradition at the Christmas party is to defrock and frock our new president. So I've never defrocked a pregnant lady before. You bring your accoutrements of office.
Watch the sword, Tom.
Anyway, we want to thank you for 2 years of really yeoman work. I mean, you really kept the club together and got all kinds of good stuff that we've been doing, and obviously with over 45 events, a lot of it has to do with your moving the club along and all your sponsorship too with the business. So anyway, if I can have that, please. And I want to thank you from the club. And so now we had an election, and if you guys, I I don't think all of you guys were there for the election. Anyway, we elected Daniel Katz. Would you come forward? This has been going on for several years now. We have the club shield and the club sword. Pass this on to you. And I don't know if I should. We're all looking forward to your leadership, and thank you very much for participating. I mean, that's what it's all about, is participation for all of us. So thank you, and goodbye.
I didn't really prepare a speech, but thank you very much for electing me, for having me as the president, and I promise you that I won't let you down. We'll have a lot of fun events this year, and yeah, well, thank you.
Oh, one more thing, Jen. We have a here it is. Oh, you saw. Okay, on the back. We've all. If you haven't signed this, you know, see Jen after dinner here and get a pen and put your name on it for. So this is for you, Jen.
Am I the only president that has two?
I think so. Aren't you fortunate? don't fight it.
Maybe time to start doing 2-year terms.
We will have to discuss that at the next meeting. Anyway, actually, you had something else.
Speaking of events, I've forgotten to do this next. You know, we have autocrosses, as we mentioned, we have track days. And last year we had 5 track days. I think we have another 5 scheduled for this coming year, and I think another 8 or 9 autocrosses again scheduled this coming year. And so these events become quite an undertaking, and year after year we have a couple chairmen that chair these events, and year after year, morning after morning, they get up at God knows what hour to get out to the course, get out to the track, to get things set up, to manage the groups, to coordinate the course workers and the track workers and with the track and everything else, and it takes countless hours. So it was really just a way of saying we appreciate their effort. We have a couple of jackets here, so we have one for Calm, who's not here.
I'll take it.
But we asked John and Scott to come on up. John Zender and Scott.
Just one word. We see a lot of new faces out here. All right. We see a lot of new faces out here, and that's great. The last time we had this number of people at a Lotus Cove Christmas party, Barry Spencer had hair. Thanks, Barry. So it would be great to see a lot of new faces out at the track days next year. So come on out and have a good time with us. Thank you.
So sort of along the same theme, Barry, We understand you wanted to get an M100 to drive on the street.
There you go.
Right? And you like the car because you can take the top down?
That's right.
Right? And you want to just, what, let your hair blow in the wind? Is that what
There you go. Okay, now in continuing on here for introduction of our officers, we have our president, vice president is Raul. Raul doesn't get a sword and shield.
3 years in a row.
Oh, that's 3 years in a row for him. Oh. Wow. Come on, get your picture taken. That's the least we can do for him.
He doesn't actually have to do anything, so
You got to show up when Daniel does it. Okay. Okay, Gary. You want to come up here? Well, I want to know about this quiz that you've given everybody.
I thought you knew the answer.
How do you want to work this?
How do I want to work this? I don't know how I want to work this. It's quite scary being set up here. Anyway, thank you all very much for attending the 2012 Christmas party. And there's one guy in this club that has absolutely made this club stick together for as many years as it has been. And I think we should all stand up and thank Kiyoshi Amai. Thank you for that. You got some exercise now? Okay, is that better? Yeah. Thank you, son. I'm so proud you're here today. You won't be at my age, I can assure you. It's hereditary stress. So a little while ago, there was a gentleman up here making fun of my hair, but now I want to make fun of him. You know, what goes around comes around, you know? And I remember maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, we were having this wonderful Christmas party, and I was just driving very, very slowly down the freeway, as I normally do at my age. And all of a sudden, this maniac, Porsche 944 White, came screaming in front of me, swerving in and out, flipped me off. I'm like, who could that be other than Scott Hogman? And ever since then, I'm like, the most coolest guy in public, but on the road, stay away from me. It's scary. So scary. Anyway, coming back to what I really came up here for. See, you lost my train of thought here. So, the people that wanted to participate in the trivia, did you actually get the chance to participate? You did? Okay, very cool. All right. So, all right. So, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Why don't you bend over? Especially in front of you, right? Now I'd like you to stand up again, because we have the founder of the Golden Gate Lotus Club.
It was a dark and rainy night.
My friend
friend had a Lotus and he couldn't get it to run. So he asked me if I was interested in it. So I bought it. And then I had to figure out how it ran. And I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. So that's how the club started. I found somebody and we talked and said, hey, do you want to start a club up? I said, sure, let's do that. And before I knew who it was into 75 members at Zach's Harley Lido, and it just kept going and building. And thank you for making this club such a great gift to me. Thank you.
Thanks, John.